Well, so I promised my online students that I would show them the inside of a computer in case they didn't have access to an old one that they could take apart. So that's what this video is about today. Just opening up an old computer and looking to see what's inside. Hopefully, everyone who's interested in computers has a chance by now to look at the inside of a computer. Don't do this at home. Don't do this to a computer that you care about. Just do this to an old one that you're probably going to throw away anyway, or nobody cares that it works, unless you get some more experience. I'm not in a static-free workstation. I'm not grounded or anything. Normally when you handle electronics, you want to take a little more caution. But today I'm just really interested to open one up and see what's inside of it and show you what's going on. So if I can pull this cover open. I've got a lot of the screws loosened and stuff already. This isn't really a how-to to get inside as much as to just kind of show what's inside. So this is an old Dell computer. Well, let's go right to the CPU, shall we? So CPU is the main computer chip that runs the entire computer. And in this particular one, it's got this assembly on here that helps to keep it cool. CPUs, when they're working hard, generate lots of heat, so that's what this is about. There's a fan, and it gets lots of air movement over it. And normally, so to get into it, you have to loosen the screws on the side and lift it up, and it kind of hinges, and then it can be pulled off. Notice, I don't know if you can see that, this is a little heat sink. It's got fins in it. It acts like a radiator. It allows lots of air to move across it and dissipate the heat. And that contacts right on top of the CPU to get all the heat away from it. So, but right down in here is the central processing unit chip, the CPU. And well, let's see if we can open it up. It's been a while since I've opened one. I think all that you got to do is lift this little hinge up, and it releases it, and maybe we can pull the thing out. You don't want to do this after it's been running a while, because this thing gets extremely hot, but that's what the CPU package looks like on this particular computer. In the old days, they had little pins that would stick down. Now it looks like this kind just has gold contacts on it, and it makes a contact with the mounting that it sits in. So I'll put that back in and lock that down. They put a little grease on there. It's like a heat-conducting grease that makes a good seal between the heat sink and the CPU. And that's how you can keep it cool. Other parts of a computer, well, in class today we talked about the CPU, we talked about the memory, and the input and the output devices. So let's look at the memory a little bit on this computer. So the memory is right here. This is the random access memory. And it looks like that. And it goes on the motherboard. And normally these will snap in there, but these don't exactly fit this motherboard. This is just for demonstration purposes. But these are more microchips. And a lot of times you can upgrade the memory of a computer that you buy as long as you match the motherboard. By the way, this big green board inside here is the motherboard. So that's where all of the peripherals come connected. In the old days, you always had to add expansion cards for just about every device that you wanted to add. But in modern times, motherboards have a lot of built-in components that allow that upgrade. So that's the RAM sticks. Let's see, over here, so we have an input-output device. Another form of memory is the hard disk drive. Let's see if I can pull that guy open. So newer computers are starting to go into solid-state drives, but it's the same concept. here. So there's a cable here that connects it to the motherboard, and then so this would be the non-volatile memory, the storage that allows you to turn the power off and save things without power. So anything that's saved in the RAM is going to go away as soon as the power is turned off, but on the hard disk, that's how you can turn your machine off and turn it back on, and it remembers what you did before. So over here we have an expansion card. Motherboards have these expansion slots in it, and so you'll want to buy a card that matches what your motherboard is capable of. And when I first started on computers, they didn't have network cards, for example. They didn't come network ready, so I had to buy a network card and add it in here and add the software and make it work. But that's what this one is, so these can be removed. You can upgrade it. This particular card, this is a network card. This is pretty much like the ones that I added to give network capabilities to it. Now if you look at on this, is this the computer I want to show? So these are the input ports that are built into the motherboard. We've got USB and sound, and there's a network adapter. There's a parallel port, which in the old days, that was how you hooked your printer up. And your video out, and a serial port as well. So that's the original port. If you wanted to hook a mouse up, you would hook it to that serial port. The only other thing of interest here that is in this computer is the power supply. So every computer's case is going to have a power supply. You can buy these separate from the case, or you can buy one that comes with a case that you buy if you go to build your computers. But I think that's the basic parts of a computer: the CPU, the memory, the input and the output. So we would hook keyboard and mouse up to this and display, but that's basically the insides of a computer. Thanks for watching. Okay, you can stop it.
Okay.